Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice was one of the first games I played when I started streaming. It's one of my favorite games ever made. As someone who struggles with mental health issues, this game is very close to my heart, and when the sequel was announced, of course, I was excited to see more of Senua's journey. Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga picks up after the events of Senua's Sacrifice. This time, Senua has willingly gotten herself captured by Northmen in hopes of freeing her enslaved people, with only one goal in mind: vengeance. A storm destroys the slave ships, throwing her into the sea. She washes up on the shore and navigates the foreign land with nothing but the voices in her head to encourage her, or sometimes even intimidate her. She finds herself attacked by the slave master, Thorgester. With her strength, she defeats him and makes him her prisoner so he can lead her to his settlement, continuing her quest for vengeance. As they continue, Senua discovers that all the settlements are plagued by cannibalistic Draugr and, more importantly, giants. The first game deals with Senua's isolation. However, in Senua's Saga, she finds allies. While the first game felt like it was about acceptance, this one was more about healing. Obviously, there is a deeper story, but saying more would be a spoiler. I did enjoy the story, even though I think it wasn't as intimate as the first one, mainly due to how the narration, dialogues, and even Senua's voices were. It lacked the depth the first game had, but the new companions were amazing. I loved their characters, I personally loved how well they were written. Everything is ambiguous in the game. With Senua's psychosis, you're never really sure if something is a figment of her imagination or if it's real. But by adding companions, it changes things. I have my own theories about everything that happens in the game, but I can definitely see how people would struggle with the narrative cohesion between the two games. If you are interested in a story analysis from my perspective, let me know in the comments. Gameplay wise, also, there's really no change. If anything, the combat was a downgrade. It only exists to look cinematic. Every fight is the same: face an enemy, attack them, parry their attacks, kill them, on to the next. You have a focus ability to slow down time to land extra hits. It's a shame that they got rid of the kick attacks and charge attacks from the first game. Combat feels heavy, which is on purpose because realism. Puzzles were already easy in the first game. Somehow they managed to make it even easier in Hellblade 2. Puzzles are basically integrated in the environment. You have to find a vantage point and find a hidden rune. A new puzzle was added where you have to manipulate the environment by interacting with a particular element. It was nice to see some variety, but again, it was too easy, and on one particular level, it was way too dragged out. I don't expect deep gameplay from Hellblade in the first place though. The game is more of an interactive movie, which I know a lot of people don't like, but there's many people like me that enjoy such games. The game is linear, always has been, but this feels way more constrained than the first one was, which was a disappointment honestly. There are optional paths you can take to find lore-based collectibles which add to the narrative though. The visuals though, oh my god, every single bit of Hellblade is spectacular. The environment is beautiful. Hellblade is a marvel to look at. The seamless transitions between gameplay and cutscenes make the game very immersive. The motion capture and performance is too good. What an amazing job by all the actors, especially Melina Jurgens. The way she expresses Senua's emotions is one of the best performances I've seen in a game. Even the voice acting is great. The sound design is top notch too. The ambient sounds, the binaural audio used for Senua's voices, the random shrieks of people, the sound of Senua's breath when she's panicking, and even the soundtracks are just so good. The sound design does a great job at making you feel the tension. There were moments where hearing the dialogues was difficult because you'd have Senua's voices talk at the same time as the companions do, which I think is done on purpose to show how distracting psychosis can be. However, it was still a little annoying to deal with. Yes, some could call this a glorified tech demo, and it really doesn't do anything new compared to the first game, but I still enjoyed Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga. I wish the game was marketed better though. I feel like a lot of people jumped into this game without knowing what it offers, leaving many disappointed since it really isn't for everyone. I definitely do not recommend you buy this game. The pricing is absurd for how short it is. It's around 7 hours long. Definitely play it on Game Pass and do not miss out on the first game, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, if you haven't played it already.